as a founder's attorney, I've noticed a lot of mistakes that occur over and over again, so I want to go over those today. First is choosing the wrong entity from the beginning. If you choose the wrong entity, it could affect your fundraising later. So that comes down to choosing between an LLC and a Delaware S Corp. That would involve talking to an attorney to make sure it aligns with your future goals. The next one is relying on handshake deals. This happens over and over again. This is one of those things where it's a trust factor. A lot of times founders are friends or colleagues who work together, trust each other, and they want to wait, see if this takes off, and we'll paper it up later. It happens quite often. And this could be friends, family, relationships. These are important relationships that if they do go sour, will not only affect your business, but also affects your personal life. It's really important to not just wait and paper them. Just do it early on so that you get it taken care of before there's any arguments about money, about who did what work. Things can get really messy when money is involved. Another mistake I see founders making is giving away equity too early. That happens very frequently. A lot of founders will provide equity in lieu of or in addition to cash compensation because they're cash strapped. So they just give out equity thinking that, oh, okay, we will worry about this later. But every time you give out equity, you're diluting your own equity, and that is not a good thing. If you want to continue to be the majority owner, each time you're giving a little bit away of your equity, you're reducing that. Another large one is failing to protect your intellectual property. And that includes the intellectual property that you have hired somebody to do for you, whether it's a contractor, a vendor, a freelancer, a friend even, and they technically still own that intellectual property. The creator technically owns the intellectual property unless there is an intellectual property assignment agreement assigning all of that intellectual property to the company. So the company really needs to get IP assignment agreements from anybody who worked on any part of your product or service. That includes code, software, website design, marketing materials, anything that is proprietary information that you wouldn't want a competitor to have. You want to make sure that all of that is protected. Another mistake I see founders making is waiting too long to hire a lawyer. A lot of times they see lawyers as fixers, but in fact, the best time to hire an attorney is preventatively, because by the time you hire a lawyer to fix something, it's going to be very expensive. So you could spend $1,000 or $2,000 on the front end that can save you tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions later on. The best legal work is preventative. It provides you with the legal foundation for you to run your business. By doing that, you will prevent having to hire a fixer attorney. So you'll have your contracts in place, you'll have your IP protected so that there isn't anything for anyone to come to you for, because everything's all buttoned up. No founders are coming against you, no employees, no freelancers, nothing. It really behooves founders to hire an attorney when they're starting their business, ideally, but definitely as you're growing, because you need an attorney to keep up with the growing business, to make sure that the infrastructure is in place so that you can continue to grow, and also to set you up correctly in case you are looking to raise capital, and or you may get an offer to get bought, which would be fantastic, because then you can get some of your money out of the company. That's the equity that's built into the company that's tied up in there that you aren't able to get the cash out. An acquisition is fantastic, and usually it's quite favorable to you. So the good news is all of these mistakes are completely preventable. The founders who build the strongest foundations are the companies who don't focus on just having a great product. They focus on having a great foundation from day one. If you're a founder, entrepreneur, or a small business owner and you want practical legal advice that helps you avoid expensive mistakes, please reach out.